Hello folks, welcome to this episode of the Irish Whiskey Review with me, Marty Macaulay. And tonight, Caribbean rum cask finish Tullamore d.e.w. Now, in my previous review, I reviewed a Cologne rum cask finished blend. This is a 43% ABV Caribbean rum cask finish Tullamore d.e.w. Now, it says, with this rum cask finish, we pay tribute to the role of Irish immigrants in the development of rum in the Caribbean in the 17th century. By finishing our blend in the finest rum cask, develop a smooth whiskey with layers of fruitiness and tropical fruit. Yeah. Now it tells you to drink responsibly. They all tell you to drink responsibly, and so you should. Now, it's triple blend Irish whiskey, cask finished before layers of sweetness and exotic fruit. Sharing a passion for fine crafted spirits with our Caribbean cousins, we carefully select barrels previously used to age Demerara rum to impart their distinct tropical flavours and so on. The Tullamore distillery established in thing. Right, okay. So, half a book on this. Now, Tullamore, down in the centre of Ireland. Pour ourselves a little glass. Tullamore have recently redone the whole distillery. They've opened a brand new distillery, new visitor centre, new experience, etc, etc. I was there in January of this year. It's lovely. I've been there a few times. It's really, really nice. I got a distillery exclusive, which I'll review at some point. Really good it is too. Now, Tullamore d.e.w. is very light. It's very appley, very green. It takes this very light character, works really well in cocktails. Now I'm talking about the sort of basic Tullamore d.e.w. So you automatically think it should take the cask very well. And what I mean by that is it should really take on the flavour of the cask and absorb it, because its own flavour is really quite light. There's nothing there that will dominate anything coming from the cask. It'll be the other way round, which is not a bad thing. I'm not criticising it in any way. That's not what I mean. It certainly has its place, and it has a very distinct estery green apple base note to it. Basically a quintessential sort of Irish spirit, if you like, Irish whiskey. So it should take on the cask. Now, the last review I did was a heavier blend, certainly a lot more body to it, and you think, well, Tullamore, they're owned by Grant's, the big whiskey family over in Scotland, so they've spent a lot of money on this. Now, I'll just check for colour. Yeah, it's very light colour, so there might be a bit of colour in it. I'm not 100% sure. Probably is, I would have thought. It doesn't say there's not, so normally you just take it that there's a bit of colouring in it. It'll be chill filtered as well. This one wasn't very expensive. I can't remember what it was, maybe about £30 or something like that. So, no, not too bad. Right. On the nose. Sharp. Very fruity, very sharp. Tropical fruits. A little bit saccharine sweetness. A little bit too sharp. You're getting your sort of mango, your sort of papaya, that type of tropical fruit. but you're not getting the rounded rum flavour. You're getting a much more fruit as opposed to the sugar. You're getting almost a false sweetness. Uh, it would be like a banana starburst versus a banana. You know what I mean? It's kind of not. Yeah, it it's not bad. The nose is not bad, but it's not great either. It's too light, and to get that sort of dark sugary rum treacle to come over, it hasn't. It's made it that it's a bit artificially sweet. Yeah, it's just fruit. It's a fruit basket, and you could probably pick out pretty much every fruit you could imagine. You're getting lots of apple there, fresh green apple, some pear. Again, all the mangoes and sort of like melon. It's just oodles and oodles and oodles of that. And really, you could sit there and come out with loads of pretty much every sort of tropical fruit you can think of. Well, I don't really get pineapple, but it's all that kind of ballpark. It's all that estery fruit, tropical fruit, and that's really where it's at. Now, 43%. Uh, it's nice. It's nice that they bottled it at 43. Um, but I'm not 100% sure. It's nice that they did it, but I'm not necessarily sure why. Because I don't know what actually adds to it. Straight up, game. It's all fruit, fruit. Bit of wood there, a little bit of wood. Um, Funny on the finish, you started to get a bit more of the rounded sugar notes, the sort of demerara sugar coming through there. Yeah, you're getting that a little bit later on in the finish, but on the palate, again, it's all fruit. It's actually it's actually surprisingly good on the long length, a decent length of finish. When you get it on, and it deepens. And what I mean by that is it starts off very fruity, very fresh. On the palate, it's coming in very fruity, very fresh. And as the finish comes on, it sort of deepens and brings out really what you would expect to happen at the front with this. I find this quite a lot with Tullamore Dew, that they're what you think they're going to have. It's not necessarily what you end up with. They have a cider cask finish, it's all apples, 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 and ordinary Tullamore. You think a cider cask, boom, boom, boom. This is absolutely nailed on where it's going to be. And I didn't like that either. I didn't like that either. I think this is okay. It's middling and okay. The problem with having these that are very light, they don't have much body to them. They don't have a great mouth feel, so they don't feel the quality that some other deeper bodied, rounded, flavoured whiskies are. So the mouthfeel, when you get that lovely coating in the mouth coming from the nice oils and the liquid, um, yeah, with that it's just there and it sort of cleans itself, if you know what I mean. I'll put a tiny little drop of water in this just to see. I'll put half a teaspoon in. The wee silver spoon. Ding, ding, ding. Give it a swish. Let it decant. This will not take too long to decant. Still not. You're still getting that bags of fruit. If anything, the water hasn't really done a huge amount to help it. And at 43%, I mean, it's now down below the 40%, and maybe that's why they left it at 43. There's actually a bit more on the nose at that. Scoring it, I'll leave it at about a 5.5, because I don't think there's bags of flavour in it, if I'm honest. It's too light, doesn't take on the cask finish that it should have done. It is very fresh. It's this would be good in certain cocktails. Not that I know an awful lot about cocktails, but it would have that. You could work with it, but for me, it just doesn't work. I don't particularly like it. No, the water on the finish, the nice bit of the whole experience is the finish, and it's coming in. It just it dies a death. So I can kind of see why they have it at 43, I suppose. But it's, yeah, unfortunately, it just doesn't work, which is a bit of a shame, because I do like Tullamore. I like what they're doing down there. The sight of it beside the river. I like the regeneration. Anytime I've ever been down, the staff in the place have been fabulous. They're really, really pleasant, nice, and I wish them well. The last time I was down, the girl I was talking to, she said they're fantastic to work for, really, really good. You know, there's bonuses and they look after their workers and stuff. All to be commended. And you have some good ones. Don't worry, I will be reviewing some very good Tullamore at some point. But this, for me, kind of misses the mark. So, unfortunate, but alas, that's what it is. So, that's all from me for this, the Irish Whiskey Review. Do hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. Tune in mostly on Saturday nights to the Facebook page for me and Justin. Normally at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night we do a little whiskey thing, and we have a little bit of a chat and a conversation, and I ramble on about some aspect of whiskey, and Justin asks me questions and lots of other weird things at times. So so with that, folks, stay safe, look after yourselves, and bon voyage. Take care.